You know this moment when your GitLab pipeline fails and everything looked fine locally? Your IDE was quiet, tests passed, even AI had no complaints, then CI breaks, different environment, different variables, or other reason. So you open GitLab, scroll through endless logs, and waste time on something that could be automatic. That's the problem I wanted to solve. So I built a Copilot agent that reads pipeline logs, understands what failed, and can even create a fix as a commit. In this file, I define an autonomous agent whose sole responsibility is to inspect the latest GitLab CI pipeline for the current repository and branch, understand failures through real job logs, and propose or apply the smallest possible fix. The agent operates directly in a developer terminal using Git and glab. I explicitly describe the agent's job as a deterministic sequence. Fetch pipeline status, analyze failures, propose minimal fixes, apply them, and commit locally without pushing. This framing is intentional. I want the agent to behave like a careful engineer who stops short of changing remote state without human approval. Here I constrain the agent to a strict subset of glab commands that I know are reliable and scriptable. By forbidding invented flags and preferring JSON output where possible, I ensure the agent's behavior is predictable and resilient to CLI changes. The workflow section is the operational backbone of the agent, defining not just what to do, but when to stop, when to explain errors, and when to proceed autonomously. I treat the workflow as a guarded pipeline. Each step must succeed before the next one is allowed to run. In the pre-flight phase, I force the agent to verify basic assumptions, being inside a Git repository, having an active branch, and a working glab authentication. If any of these fail, the agent must stop immediately and explain the issue instead of guessing. At the fetching the latest pipeline step, I fetch the latest GitLab CI pipeline for the current branch. I start with glab CI get, requesting JSON output with full job details. If that is not available, I fall back to glab CI list and explicitly select the most recent pipeline. If both commands fail, I stop immediately and explain the reason. The repository might not have CI configured, the remote URL could be wrong, the branch may not be pushed yet, or authentication might be missing. I surface the exact error and suggest concrete next steps like checking the remote, verifying, GitLab-c.yml, authenticating with glab, or triggering the first pipeline manually. If pipeline data cannot be fetched, the flow does not continue. Once I have the pipeline JSON, I extract the essentials, the pipeline ID, its current status, and the web URL if available. I also parse the job list to understand which jobs ran, which failed, which succeeded, and how long they took. Based on this, I present a short, structured summary showing the overall pipeline state and a clear breakdown of job results, so the user immediately understands what happened and where the problem is. If the pipeline is green, I want the agent to explicitly say so and exit gracefully while still summarizing what ran. This avoids unnecessary fixes and reinforces trust that no action is sometimes the correct outcome. This is the core use case. The agent identifies failed jobs, pulls their logs, and extracts only the lines that matter. I require it to reason about likely root causes and impact, but always grounded strictly in observable log output, not speculation. At the apply fixes and commit stage, the agent is allowed to modify code or GitLab-c.yml, but only minimally and with a clear justification tied to the logs. I deliberately require a local commit without pushing, keeping the final control in my hands. Instead of acting silently, the agent ends by telling me exactly what to do next, how to review the commit, how to push it, and how to monitor the new pipeline. This keeps the workflow transparent and developer-centric. Finally, I define strict behavioral rules, stop on errors, explain clearly, avoid verbosity, and ask questions only when progress is genuinely blocked. This section ensures the agent feels like a disciplined teammate, not a chatty assistant. Let's try our agent. I'm working with a simple Go Echo server, a test application that basically mirrors back any HTTP request details it receives as JSON. To show you how this works, I'm going to intentionally break my project. Let's head into the handler, mess up this logic slightly, and push it. In a real scenario, this might be a hidden environment conflict, but for now, let's just break the build. Now we wait. And there it is, the dreaded red icon. Usually this is where the manual labor starts, clicking the pipeline, finding the failed job, scrolling through thousands of lines of logs just to find one undefined error, but not today. Instead of leaving my terminal, I'll just call my agent. I type analyze pipeline, and that's it. The agent is now waking up. It's identifying my current branch, talking to the GitLab API via GLAB, and fetching the logs of that specific failed job. It's not just reading, it's reasoning about why the Go compiler is unhappy. Look at that, it found the exact line I broke. It didn't just tell me it failed, it proposed a minimal fix, applied it, and even created a local commit for me to review. Now I'll push the fix. Let's head back to GitLab and check the pipeline one more time. That's it for the demo. If you're interested in trying this yourself, you can find the full source code in the repository linked below. I've also documented all prerequisites and setup steps, so you can reproduce the agent in your own environment. Feel free to experiment, adapt it to your CI setup, and break things safely. If you have questions, ideas, or improvements in mind, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to discuss and iterate. Thanks for watching.